growling with agony. Hunger pangs made me restless. I could not think clearly. I did not have a Snickers in my bag that I could munch into and stop throwing tantrums of being hungry. After an electrifying concert, we came out exhausted, only to find all the restaurants in the area closed. We scurried back home and tried to grope for food in all the available containers. But peanuts and sugar were the only edible commodities available. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
I hope none of you have skipped your lunch today, because if you have, you will not be able to concentrate on what I say. I hope none of you have had an overdose too, because even then, you would not be able to concentrate. That night, as I went to bed hungry, a thought crossed through my mind and I recollected a story that my teacher had narrated. When Mother Teresa was treading along the streets of Calcutta, she noticed an emaciated, famished man writhing on the roadside. It looked like he hadn't eaten for days. She quickly managed to get him a bowl of rice. As he saw the bowl of rice, tears rolled down his cheeks, for he hadn't seen a grain of rice for days together. He died even before he could swallow a single morsel of food that was brought for him. Such is the economic disparity in countries like India that the poor have to struggle for one morsel of food, and the rich are wasting food in the name of lavish weddings and ceremonies. There was one more such incident where a volunteer of the Nirmal Hriday was seen collecting food left over on the used plates. When he was asked why he was doing so, he said, "Food remains edible until it reaches the trash can. What looks waste for some is the best thing available for some others." The next morning, I got up and started doing some research about world hunger and starvation. And what I read left me horrified. Hunger is the topmost killer in the world. And can you believe it? AIDS and cancer follow it. And shockingly, India contributes to 1/3 of the world's hungry population. 7,000 Indians die of hunger every day. That accounts to almost 25 lakh people dying out of chronic hunger in a year. Chronic hunger is described by the Food and Agricultural Organization as persistent inadequacy of food, leading to malnutrition, infection, and eventually death. And this problem is even more severe in some other countries. This photograph, taken by Kevin Carter, says it all. As you can see, it shows a vulture waiting to feed on a Sudanese child that is about to die. This photograph won the Pulitzer Prize, and 3 months after that, the photographer committed suicide, driven by the helpless guilt of being unable to do anything for this child. Such is the impact of the silent holocaust of hunger in the world today. Food and Agricultural Organization says that in industrialized countries, close to 220 million tons of food is wasted every day. And let me tell you, it wouldn't be an exaggeration if I would say that we all contribute to this. This is the statistics that I have gathered from our very Krishna Varnam cafeteria. And if you can see, food that is wasted per day is sufficient sufficient to feed from 25 to 50 people per day. This is only the case of the Krishna Madhyam cafeteria. We have 2 other cafeteria in Oracle, right? And this is only Oracle. Just imagine how much of food is wasted everywhere. Friends, I am sure we cannot totally obliterate hunger in the world, nor can we reach out to each and every person who is hungry. But we can make some conscious move through which we can at least bring about a smile on the face of one hungry soul, isn't it? I have a few tips to do so. First of all, the next time you go to the cafeteria, please do not stack your plate with all that is available when there is unlimited food. Take only as much as you can. Go in for a second helping if you need it. If you want to cook at home, make sure that you see the best before date when you buy food from the market, when you buy edible commodities, and try to use them before that date so that it doesn't go waste. The newly bought food can be kept behind in the refrigerator or on the shelves, and the older commodities can be moved forward. This makes it more likely for the older products to be used or consumed before they go bad. The next time you go to a restaurant for an a la carte meal, serve only as much as you can on the plate. Again, you can always go in for a second helping. If there's food left over in the containers, make sure you get it packed. You can even eat it at home or give it to a hungry soul that you encountered on the way. Buy misshapen fruits from farmers and vendors. Misshapen fruits are something like this. They are deformed in shape, but they taste as good as the ones that are perfectly in shape. These fruits are more likely to be thrown away. The last I would like to say is whenever you attend any wedding or ceremony, make sure that in addition to a gift, you carry one small piece of information that you can share with the organizer of the event. There are several non-profit organizations that take food left over from these ceremonies and give it to people who really need it. Feeding India is one such organization that's prevalent in most of the metropolitan cities. Please make note of it, Feeding India. They also have an app on Google Play Store for Android. Friends, this is just a humble attempt made by me to sow the seed of consciousness of food wastage. I'm sure you will help me nurture this tree and spread its branches wide. I would just like to conclude by saying a famous quote. It says, "For now, I ask no more than the justice of eating, for it is only food that makes me say enough."